The Australian Small Scale Offerings Board, it's actually Australia's largest capital raising platform for emerging Australian companies. We've actually been operational since 2004 and just in the last few years alone we've had over $120 million raised via the platform. In terms of companies that are listing onto the Australian Small Scale Offerings Board, the ideal sort of candidate for companies to go through the process are really high growth or potential high growth companies. They've either got a smart technology or a smart business model, but they really haven't fully unlocked the enterprise value. And by raising equity capital, then they're able to really unlock that value and then progress up the growth curve. So if we have a look at the profile of a company that might list onto ASSOB, basically you've got anything from pure startup, we still accept applications for pure startups, right through to the other end of the spectrum where they're fully operational, in revenue, in profit, and potentially even some of them that are applying paying dividends. If we have a look at the pure startup end of the spectrum, obviously need to be a little selective there in terms of that end of the spectrum. What we're looking for is really that the people that are involved in the company, be it the board or the senior management, have got the wherewithal to really deliver upon what they're talking about in terms of the actual business, because obviously at that end of the spectrum the investors are investing in the people as opposed to really the business at that stage. So quite diverse there in terms of the business status development. We're not like an exchange where we have certain criteria in terms of profitability or investor spread numbers or minimum capitalisation, because we're effectively pre-exchange. So we don't set criteria in that regards. So effectively, if it is a company that's looking to do an exchange listing or a trade sale, ASSOB's ideal to potentially be used as a staging ground to raise some funds, get their backyard in order, compliance, get some investor spread up, really get some good corporate history there, raise some capital, develop a prospectus, and then potentially springboard onto an exchange listing or possibly a trade sale. So that's I suppose profile of a company. In terms of industries that companies might herald from, we've had successes in the finance space, health and beauty, food and beverage, biofuel space. It's really quite diverse in terms of the space or industries that successful ASSOB listings have come from. And in terms of really I guess so you've got the business development status we've talked about, you've got the actual space that they're in, and in terms of geographical locations, we're able to service right around Australia there. So really, ASSOB is designed for growing Australian companies.